Hello, good morning. Welcome to Joy News Desk. Coming up this morning, Peace Town, a suburb of Ngleshie Amanfro in the South municipality of the Greater Accra region, cut off by the torrential rain which hit Accra yesterday. Also this morning, amidst the relentless downpour of the rainy season, a cloud of apprehension hangs heavy over residents residing near the banks of the Odo River. We'll share with you stories of people who experience anguish every time. We are scared. We have nowhere to go.
We can't do anything about it when it rains. It's scary. I've packed most of the clothes on a special shelf far from the reach of the water.
They come and do development.
It is already happy. The people way the development they go for the NDC. I go do. But if somebody die or MP die now, you go see say every night they do the.
This morning, pensioners are at the Finance Ministry picketing on unpaid coupons and principals. Let's settle down for the details. Peace Town, a suburb of Ngleshie Amanfro in the South municipality of the Greater Accra region, has been cut off by the torrential rain which hit Accra yesterday. Residents, including junior high students currently writing the exams, are crossing dangerous roads. Some of the residents are calling on NADMO to bring a canoe to help them cross to dry lands.
You said when your MP dies, you get development.
Yes, if it's already happy for Ghana now.
Are you sure?
If it's already happy. Yes. Look, yesterday when I come here, I swear the children you go carry the listing. What did they happen?
Some MPs are doing development. So MPs are doing development.
Look, that's what they happen now. If it's somebody died before you go see say happy go come.
Give me an example. Give me an example.
The two children's went died here. The school children. Then close. He died. For this thing, the former MP come. Oh, I go. You don't worry. I go see you. I can't do. But after now.
No, you said when MP dies, they come and do development.
It is already happy. The people way the development they go for the NDC. I go do. But if somebody die or MP die now, you go see say every night they do the job.
This situation here has been there for a while. It's so many years now. We needed the government to come in and intervene and help us to do this situation. In fact, government comes and goes. The MPs and the assemblymen, all of them comes and goes. They don't have any help to help us here. So what we are pleading to the government now is the government should come in and help us in our situation here.
this has been a perennial issue, and the government is not forthcoming. We have a plan of this area. The hydro department of the Ministry of Waste and Housing, a complete solution to this problem is on the table at the hydro department, and that is what can solve our problem here. If they are not able, what we are told is that government has not provided funding or budget for it since about 10 years ago when we visited the MP at the time. And then we went to the hydro department, and we showed all the plans, the grouping of solving this situation. But they are telling us that there is no budget for it.
My colleague David Andor was in that community. He's joined us now. David, you were in that community. How serious is the problem, and how are the residents coping?
Yeah, the situation is very disturbing. Where I am is that is where River J enters the Ngleshie, and this situation has been here for many years. And every raining season, this place becomes flooded. And this one is a very serious one. This one, when I came, you could see hundreds were stranded. They were, some of them, the big ones, managed to cross the flood, which was at waist level. The most dangerous part is you could see senior high students who were also crossing to go write their exams. Nothing could stop them from crossing the river. And apart from that, you could see houses are submerged, and the traders are also here stranded. They can't cross over to that place. And people were asking, where is National Disaster Management Organization? And the time I came here, they were not here. Few minutes ago, officers from Ghana South Municipal Assembly, they came here from NADMO, but they don't have anything that could help the residents. So some of them, they are not happy that NADMO is finally here, but they came without any solution to the problem. So as I'm talking, people are crossing dangerously, and it's like the rain has not stopped. I mean, the weather has changed here, and the situation is becoming serious. In case the NADMO delays, nobody knows what will happen. So if you come to a peace town, which is the suburb of Ngleshie Amanfro, it is totally cut off. As I talk now, I have the assemblyman for the area, Honorable Percy Ngleshie. So you can talk to him. Hello.
Yes, Honorable. So what exactly are you doing about this situation?
Oh, like your reporter said, it is something that we've been doing. So, what we do is we defiled the stream. If this stream has been defiled, like we don't have seen this place flooded. Because for the past 3 years, we haven't seen flooding here. Now, before the leadership, we were having it every year. And that community, Peace Town community, is mostly cut off when this place gets flooded. But this year, the assembly, we've done everything, but we haven't been able to do the desilting and the dredging. That is why we are seeing this flooding here.
Why haven't you been able to do the desilting and the dredging?
Honestly, I stood on assembly floor and raised the issue. The road engineer responded that they are waiting for some funds from central government and then urban roads, regional urban roads, to come and do the desilting and then dredging. And funds have not come yet, and that is why we are seeing this. But I'm here with NADMO. We have to come here for them to assess the situation and then report so that the necessary solution will be given to the residents.
As the assemblyman of the area, did you have to wait for this situation to happen?
And that is why since January, I am pursuing the filtering and the dredging. But the funds is not coming from me. If I have to look for funds, I'll find a way. But I have to report to the assembly. The assembly will also request from the urban roads to provide the machine for the defiltering and dredging. So I did my part by reporting to the assembly, raising it on the floor, the assembly floor, raising it. So I have not sat down for this thing to happen. I have done what I'm supposed to do.
So have you been to the area this morning?
I'm there. That's where I am now, and I'm speaking with you.
Okay, what do you intend to do now? I mean, looking at the distractions so far. Even school children, I believe, have not been able to go to school this morning.
Yes, the water is rescinding, so we have to wait for it to rescind. And then we look at the road. Either we re-gravel it and then find a way of making the road accessible.
How about the distraction, the property destroyed and all of that? How are you going to handle that?
The NADMO is assessing it, so they will get the actual value.
So from what you're saying, you actually know the genesis of the problem. You know how to solve this problem. Now, I mean, you didn't do it, and we're seeing this. We're actually entering into the rainy season proper. That means we'll have more of this. How are you going to handle this?
The solution is the dredging. And the dredging delayed because of lack of funds. That is why the dredging delayed. And so we are waiting for funds. You know, all of this year, especially no money in the economy and all those things. So we are waiting. If I'm sitting on a large platform, and I know if you also unfold it, the authorities will get to here, and they will release the funds for the dredging. Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
Mr. Kwashi.
Yes. You see, the problem, he is saying it's dredging, yes, but the residents also told me that the place needs a bigger storm bridge that will contain the volume of water which passes here. So the place is too wide, so they did one bridge, but the other part which has flooded now, the residents are saying that need a storm bridge that can contain the volume of water that passes here. The place is what we call River J. So when the rain falls, all the water coming from Bodras and other areas, they pass through here and enter the lake. So the place is not just the dredge. They need a storm bridge according to the residents. So as I'm talking, people are still passing through dangerously to the other side. So we are hoping that National Disaster Management Organizations will come, here and then help the people cross the river to the other side.
That's my colleague David Andor there. Earlier you heard Mr. Kwashi, who is the assemblyman for the area. He's complaining about funds, reason why they haven't been able to desilt the drains and why they're having this. But David Andor paints a bigger picture of needing, there's more to the problem, he says, and NADMO has to assess it so we can fix it. I've been joined also by Deputy Director of the Forecasting at the Ghana Meteorological Agency, Potofi. Mr. Potofi, I'm grateful for your time. Yesterday's rain were heavy. What are your rain gauges showing? Hello, Mr. Potofi? Right, we lost Mr. Potofi there. He's with the Ghana Meteo Agency. He'll be telling us if we're going to be having more of this and how we can save the situation if we live in areas that are prone to flood. Now, amidst the relentless downpour of the rainy season, a cloud of apprehension hangs heavy over the residents residing near the banks of the Odo River. In our latest episode of Floods of Trauma, we visit 5 different individuals who have separate stories. Like a recurring nightmare, the fear of the rainy season grips their heart as they bear witness to the rising waters that threaten to consume their homes and belongings. My colleague Michael Ashali has more.
Junisa.
My name is Tete Hifford.
Ramotu Musa.
Skofi Keke. I'm a Ghanaian.
I'm Daniel Asiedu.
In a tale woven by the relentless rain, 5 individuals find themselves united across desperate locations, bound together by a shared harrowing ordeal. Living close to the Odo River that flows through Accra, they stand as witnesses to the havoc wreaked upon their homes and cherished shops caught in the unforgiving grip of flooding waters. Meet Unisa. She works as a beautician at a salon near the Circle Interchange. She struggled to fund her business, but everything she worked for was lost in the rain. She recalls that one day, it rained so hard that she bolted with her colleagues and left her shop at the mercy of the floodwater.
The floodwater sometimes reaches my waist, and when that happens, we abandon.
It was not an easy decision. They got to live and later picked up pieces of their lives.
The last time.
It was not an easy decision. They got to live and later picked up pieces of their lives.
The last time.